Hi guys, welcome to MRK Tutorials. First let's learn one of the important concept which is present in many programming languages along with the JavaScript, that are primitive type and reference type variables. The question, what is the difference between primitive type and reference type variable, is also one of the common interview questions for any programming languages. So before going to start the difference between the primitive and reference type variables, in JavaScript, let's understand what are the variables and why do we need to use them. Variable is nothing but labeling the data or value with some names in the code, which helps programmers to read and understand the code very easily. A variable can hold one of the two values of the primitive type or reference types. When you assign a value to a variable, the JavaScript engine will determine whether the value is a primitive type of value or reference type of value. Now let's understand primitive type and reference type variables individually. Primitive type: number, string, boolean, null, undefined are the primitive types, and in latest ES6 symbol is also added to among them. A variable is classified as a primitive type if it holds simple data with less memory usage, so it can be stored very easily. As the primitive type variable holds simple data, when this variable is assigned to another variable, the value is stored as a new entry in the variable too. Basically, primitive type variables become independent even after assigning value. Since these are having simple data to store, the JavaScript engine, what it will be doing is some fixed size to allocate to that variable in the memory, and these are stored as a stack. I know this is like a theory part, but if we see an example, it will be becoming easy. Let's see a code snippet. Here we declared a variable a using var keyword. The value of 10 is nothing but an integer, and integer does not take more than 2 bytes, which is simple to store, so it is a primitive variable. And as 2 bytes is comparatively less amount of memory, JavaScript engine decides to allocate new space in memory. When we assign variable a to a variable b in the second line, now a new space is created and value is also assigned to it. Now if we change b, the a does not get impacted as they become independent to each other. So let's see same in the action in the online editor. I hope you understood the primitive type variable clearly. As primitive type is simple and it stores simple data, it is very easy to understand. Before going to see about reference type variable, please do like this video and subscribe to our channel really quick so we can dive to the next part very soon. Let's start understanding reference type variables. In the case of reference type variables, actually they don't have the actual values, but it contains a reference to that particular value. Reference simply means a pointer to another memory location that holds the particular value. Arrays and objects are considered as the reference type variables. Let's also understand reference type variables with a small example. Suppose I have an array of 5 elements, and suppose I allocated each with 1 byte, that is 5 bytes for that variable, and later I got another element and I want to have ordered them along with these 5 elements. So how can I do that? I can create a new space in the memory with 5 elements from the old array and the 6th element from the new one and combine them. As this is combined and this variable is stored, the old variable can be deleted. So what if I get one element more, like 7? Similar process. What if I get one element each 5 seconds until some time? Then I should be following this process again and again. I should be creating one new variable, I should be deleting the old one. Is this a good practice? No, right? It will be a hectic and burning work to do by our memory, every time creating a new variable, every time deleting old ones. Then if we think of the solution, we can have some like memory bag that can increase its memory allocation as we insert elements and decrease as we remove them. This is called dynamic memory allocation, and reference type variables are of dynamic size. So let's see a code snippet and understand this concept more clearly. Here we have an object with a name as key and our channel name MRK tutorials as the value for that key is assigned to a variable x. So memory is assigned to variable x in such a way that in the future if the key or key value pairs increases in object, it will be able to dynamically expand its size. Every variable has its address where it is present in the memory. Now in the second line, we assign x to y. Then instead of assigning whole the value, which is of dynamic size, we actually don't know how much size the x has, how much capacity it can grow. So we just pass an address of x to y and say to y that use the value of x from that address. So now x is using an object and y is also using the same object. In third line, if I change value of y's name key, since both are accessing same object, both are seeing same object, then x also changes if y changes. This concept is very well used in JavaScript and must learn, especially if you are starting journey on TypeScript or modern JavaScript concepts or using JavaScript for backend. So let's see this the same in the online editor. I hope in this video you got clarity on what are primitive and reference type variables individually. Now let's see them in the difference table. Thanks for watching this video. Please do share and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to like this video and follow all the videos coming up next in our channel for sure. Thank you.